Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Normieville. Before we get started, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and that notification bell. I really appreciate your support. So, Kyrie Irving, last time we checked in on him, he had 6 terms to be reinstated to the Nets organization per Josiah. Of course, those were apologize and condemn the movie, the material that he promoted or shared, rather, to his social media page. Make a $500,000 donation to anti-hate causes. He has to participate in sensitivity training and anti-Semitism training, anti-Semitic training. He also has to meet with the ADL and other, I would say, prominent Jewish leaders, and he has to meet with Josiah to demonstrate his that he is remorseful and that something like this will not happen again. Well, he went on the SNY podcast. I will leave a link to this in the description box for you to watch. You can watch the full episode without interruption at your leisure. But I want to quickly go over a snippet of this interview and show you, because essentially it's a 21 minutes of him apologizing for the video that he shared and for all the backlash he got and all that jazz. So let's go to the next screen. As you see right there, Kyrie Irving apologizes for sharing anti-Semitic material in an exclusive interview with Ian Begley. Again, I will leave a link to this YouTube video in the description box. You can watch the full 21 minutes. I'll play about 7-10 minutes of it, and I would like to react and give my commentary. And per YouTube guidelines, because this is copyrighted material, I have to invoke my fair use clause. So, fair use. Fair use. Let's play this, and let's see what Ian Begley and Kyrie Irving had to say.
You know, this has been described as a process to return to the court for you since the suspension was handed down. Can you walk me through kind of what the past couple weeks have been like and what that process has been like for you?
Yeah, I would love to describe it to you. It was a learning journey, to be honest with you. It was a lot of hurt that needed to be healed.
A lot of bullshit he had to go. A lot of bullcrap he had to go through to come back to the team. He had to endure all this slander and backlash. Other NBA players throwing his name in the mud, saying, "Oh, there's no hate." Especially one, Charles Barkley, but that's no story, and Shannon Sharp and others, Stephen A. Smith, before they turned around and came back and said, "Oh, well," once they found out he had to go through all these hoops, then it was like, "Oh, they backtrack. Oh, well, that's too much. That he's being dehumanized, blah, blah." You co-signed the beginning. Stop it.
A lot of conversations that needed to be had, and a lot of reflection.
Of course.
And I got a chance to do that with some great people from the Jewish community.
Absolutely.
From the Black community, from the white community. I've had so many conversations with all of our races and cultures and religious groups of people, just trying to better find perspective on how we live a more harmonious life.
He had to ingest a whole bunch of training that he didn't want to, because obviously he had to be accepted to all this stuff. He has to digest all this training and all these people telling what you did was wrong and yada yada. I'm pretty sure there was a whole bunch of stuff he had to endure, including this apology, which I believe is also quote unquote dehumanizing, because he pretty much has to bend the knee on this podcast and say how sorry he is and how it never happened again, and how he was misunderstood and how he wasn't informed, and you know the deal.
I'm a man who stands for peace. I don't condone any hate speech or any prejudice. And I don't want to be in a position where I'm being misunderstood on where I stand in terms of anti-Semitism or any hate, for that matter, for anybody in this world. So the process over the last few weeks was just a lot of conversations. I don't want to get too deep into the details of those conversations, but they were very moving, very impactful.
I'm sure.
And it helped me become more aware of the repair.
More aware. Yes, indeed. You have to be more aware. That's where all this training comes in at this anti-Semitism, this anti-hate training that you had to put in this bag you had to give up, this $500,000 bag you had to give up. That's all part of your neutering.
that needed to be done, the healing that needs to be done still. So here I am, just really acknowledging the fact that it hasn't been easy. Some of it has been painful.
I'm sure.
Just learning about, the history between different groups of people. And it's given me a greater perspective.
As always.
Several people have come out and said on your behalf that they don't believe that you are anti-Semitic or you have any hateful ideation towards Jewish people. But just to clear the air, do you have any hateful ideation towards Jewish people, or are you anti-Semitic?
So this is where this is him saying, this is your chance, Kyrie. You can apologize again right here. Do you hate us? Are you hateful to Jews or anti-Semitic? Do you hold any hate in your heart for our people? You may speak now and get to apologize, Ninja.
No, I'm not anti-Semitic. I never have been. I don't have hate in my heart for the Jewish people or anyone that identifies as a Jew. I'm not anti-Jewish or any of that. And it's been difficult to sit at home with my family, with them seeing all of this and having questions. And, the part that hasn't been hard is explaining myself because I know who I am and I know what I represent. But I think the difficult aspect is just processing all this and understanding the power of my voice, the influence I have.
Your platform.
I'm no one's idol, but I am a human being that wants to make impact and change. In order to do that, I have to live responsibly and set a greater example for our youth, for my generation and the older generation.
Yep.
Tell
them you're wrong.
I just think I really want to focus on the hurt that I caused or the impact that I made within the Jewish community, putting some type of threat or assumed threat on the Jewish community. I just want to apologize deeply for all my actions throughout the time that it's been since the post was first put up. I've had a lot of time to think, but
since you promoted the video or the book rather,
focus initially, if I could do it over, would be to heal and repair, a lot of my close relationships with my Jewish relatives, brothers and sisters. My journey is very unique. I grew up in a big melting pot full of different races, cultures, and religions of people. So a lot of these conversations about anti-Semitism or anti-Blackness or anti-whiteness or, any anti that goes against a specific group of people, within my household, we used to talk about it. And I grew up with, all walks of life. And that's why I'm able to sit here and say I embrace all walks of life, because I've had some experiences throughout this journey where it's tested my faith, it's tested my heart, and I've always tried to stand up for what I believe in and stand up for those that I feel like are being prejudiced.
Okay, all right, we're done. That's we're about 4 minutes in, 4 minutes and 48 seconds. Again, I will leave a link to this in the description box. You can watch it at your leisure without interruption. Like I said, I just wanted to show you a little bit of it so you understand the lengths and the depths that he had to go to make this apology on this podcast right here. But here's the deal. Kyrie Irving I believe this is his official apology. Now, I honestly thought he was going to do this across the social media platforms because I believe that was one of the conditions of his surrender. I mean, his return to the basketball court. They had to put this on social media so that way everybody could see it. In any case, this might be chopped up and put on his social media account so that way people can see it and everybody understand that he's apologized and he's fully remorseful. And he's done all the work that is needed to see the error of his ways. Okay? So I don't know what you think about it. I said, leave your opinions about this in the comment section and tell me if you think this is sincere, if you think this was scripted, if you think this is even necessary. If you think he's doing this because he wants to get back in the court, and because you can't delete a thought or an ideology. You can make people on the outside bend the knee and tell you with sincerity that they're sorry. Just like I said, I'm a soldier or a prior soldier. I retired. I've been in Iraq and Afghanistan. There are principles and ideologies they have over there that you can't just, you know, they won't just die off with conflict between other countries and things of that nature. These things usually are hidden in the shadows. They come back out at the right time. See what happened when we pulled out of Afghanistan. They all came back, right? The Taliban, they all came back full force. There's things that happen. But in any case, Kyrie Irving has apologized. I believe this is his official apology. I'm sure he's going to go further in the apology tour, but I believe because of this, he's said to come back in a few days because it was a 5-game suspension, turned out to be more like 8 games. Well, I'm sorry. It was supposed to be a 5-game suspension. It turned out to be 8 games. So I believe he's going to come back here very soon. That's the reports. Anyway, but I'm done talking about it. Again, thank you for attending another episode of Normieville. I'm just a normie trying to give you the news in sports, entertainment, and politics. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell on your way out. And I will see you on the next video.